So I'd like to apologize in advance that I'm attempting to do this through my phone because, as I had mentioned, my laptop got stolen, which is very unfortunate and very difficult, but I'm going to try my best and hopefully this comes out in good quality. So the question for the assignment is, what are your general thoughts, feelings, hopes, and fears about your ethnic identity? Personally, this class was an interesting one, and I enjoyed seeing or hearing all the things that people brought to represent themselves. As I said, I couldn't think about what exactly identified me as a person, but I think I ended up picking a great or making a great representation of who I am as a person, which is my family. And it was just interesting to see how people, I guess, interpreted how they see themselves being represented. I guess some people brought food or like actual items, and me, like, I couldn't think of anything, so I made something. And so it was just really interesting to see how diverse everyone was. And something that surprised me was, I don't know, I guess I kind of thought everyone's family was a little bit like mine. I guess in the aspects of dynamics, but after presenting and just having the surprise on people's faces or questions they ask, it was really interesting to see that people were surprised, and it made me appreciate my family more because, not to compare it all because I know everyone's different, but it was surprising and just to hear that some people don't have that or weren't instilled in that, and then on the other hand that people did, and just it was portrayed in a different way. And so it just made me appreciate the diversity amongst families and amongst all the students. In regards to the question, thoughts and feelings towards my ethnicity, it has and always will be probably a proud outlook on it. That's how I was raised. I was raised to be proud of my culture and my ethnicity, and the things we do, and to place importance on family and support systems. So I feel like that's a positive outlook to have. And my hopes and fears, hopes that when I decide to have a family that I can carry on that that characteristic that my family and their ancestors have passed on throughout all this time. Because although I'm not super, like, I don't know Spanish or things like that, I don't want to lose that, I guess, the Hispanic ethnicity and like cultural norms. My parents had me very young, and so they had to take turns taking care of me, and so my dad was the more I guess traditional Hispanic, but he worked primarily, so my mom didn't know those things, and so she didn't really get a chance to teach me, and so that's why I was raised not knowing Spanish or certain things like that. But I mean, they still I appreciate the things that they did teach me, and when I would act out or anything of the sort, that or when bad things would happen, they instilled that family would always be there no matter what, and to not be afraid to ask for help or to go to them, because family loves you unconditionally, and it's okay to make mistakes. Fears that I have about it, there are certain things that I don't think I would agree with that they deem caused by our ethnicity. I was raised not to really question authority, I guess, and that's kind of something I've noticed that's reoccurring in other Hispanic households, or whatever the dynamic is, that we're raised to respect our elders, and so if we're told something, we're not supposed to question it. And I think that's why I acted out a little bit growing up, because I wasn't explained things or given reasons. I was just expected to be like, your parents said no, or so and so said, your elder said no, so that's that. So a fear would be carrying that on into the future with my kids, because I don't want them to feel like they have no choices, or that they have to do things a certain way because they don't. Or a fear that maybe later I get so involved in a job or something that I can't immerse my children in the Hispanic cultural and ethnic activities, or life lessons, or just traditions or anything like that. That would be a general fear. Or that, I mean, I guess a fear of always being discriminated against, but I guess I would be lucky enough thus far to never have experienced being discriminated against, at least in a negative way. There's always jokes that people, I guess, produce, and I can understand where some people find it insulting, but I mean, I've just always, to a certain point, I've always just taken it lightheartedly. But I guess if it ever became something super serious, that would be a fear that I wouldn't want my future family to go through, or even myself, because I don't know what I would do in a situation like that. Another fear is, I hope I don't lose my ethnic identity at any point, because of a busy life or anything of the sort. So yeah, but that activity was just very enlightening. I thought I knew a lot about general things about people's ethnicity, or things that they do or are accustomed to, but it's so interesting to see how, even though those traditional things are still being implemented, that families, I guess, tweak it, for lack of a better word, to accommodate like the changes that are happening in the world or within their families. Because we had quite a few people or a couple of people that were mixed, or just, not traditional, one type of ethnicity, and that was interesting to see. And so, yeah, I just really enjoyed that, this class day. It was nice to see people open up and share that part of themselves with everyone, because I know it's something that I'm proud of, and I'm sure other people are too. And it's just always nice to share a piece of you with strangers, because it makes you one step closer to not being strangers. So I really enjoyed this class.